Welcome to this month's Friends You Keep. As they say, we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And at Erin Wellness, we believe that sustainable health and wellness is an accumulation of 5 pillars: the thoughts you think, the friends you keep, daily movement, nutrition, and lastly, supplementation. So each month we feature guests doing exceptional things that will hopefully inspire you to step into all you are destined to be. Hello and welcome to this month's Friends You Keep. I'm really excited today because we have Monika and Robyn. They are the co-founders of Mint Cleaning. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Welcome. So they are located up in Euclid, BC. How far up north is Euclid? I'm from Vancouver. So
where are you? Yeah.
Vancouver.
From Nanaimo Ferry. From Nanaimo, we're about 3-hour drive.
Yeah. Okay, you guys are way up there. Okay. Yeah. Now, you guys first met at a mom group in 2016, and it was friendship at first sight. Love that. And business partners the following day. From that meeting, they started a cleaning company that became an overnight success with a full team servicing vacation rentals, residential, and commercial cleans. After suffering from harmful effects of harsh cleaning chemicals, they wanted to switch over to a safer, eco-friendly product line. As professional cleaners, they know what's required to get the job done right. So experimenting with some of their own recipes, they led to the formulation of a cleaning line that's both effective and safe to use in your home. Mint products, I'm a plug because I've got my Mint cleaning products here, are handmade. I know they're handmade in small batches with the highest quality ingredients that optimize results while being eco-friendly, all natural, and non-toxic. So love your products. Thank you so much for taking some time with me today. I really, really appreciate it. And welcome.
Yeah. And likewise to you. We love your products. We love what you're doing. And even our little pharmacy in Euclid has your products too. So
yay. Okay, good.
Yeah, we did uplift, and we both, it was one of those let's pop in here, and you were one of our favorite speakers for sure. Totally.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Well, so can you guys tell me about your journey? How did you guys met? And it wasn't just an overnight thing. Obviously, this has probably been, as of the entrepreneurship, there's a lot of ups and downs, but how did it take you guys to where you guys are today?
Yeah, so I can start, I guess. Yeah, so we, like you said, we kind of met at this get together, and we kind of both overheard each other talking about maybe doing some cleaning for vacation rentals for some friends. We were both on mat leave kind of at the time. Yeah. And just a mutual friend overheard us both say that. And they're like, you guys should talk. And both of us knowing this town, everybody has a B&B, a vacation rental, and there's no cleaner. So it's been this problem in this town. So we kind of were like, maybe we should talk. So we hit it off right away. We were both laughing the whole rest of the thing. We're like, how have we never met? We're like, So we went for a walk the next day, and then we just kind of were like, right away, both the way our brains work, we basically had a business plan after 2 hours, and then decided to just go for it. And within the next, I think that night, actually, word travels so fast in this small town, and somebody messaged me that has 8 cabins. Like, I hear you have a cleaning business. I'm like, sure.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, so we just kind of winged it and started, and it got so busy so fast. And we ended up I think in the first 2 months, we ended up having about 10 staff, and then it kind of went from there.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was so fast, almost too fast.
Yeah, I think we ended up at the end with 75 properties, close to. So it was a full-on business. For sure.
And so that still is the main, is that they're probably the main businesses now.
Yeah. So then kind of just to move things along, we're doing that. And within the first couple of years, we both started getting pretty sick. We started noticing Robyn actually had scarring on her lungs. And a lot of it was saying because we're using Lysol, bleach, everything. And we're swearing by these products.
We love these. Right? We're like, have to have the Lysol.
We know we're coming in with bloodshot eyes, eczema, everything you can imagine. And then, so then we just kind of started talking about, let's maybe switch. Maybe for our staff too, we should be using better products. But then we're using, I don't know if I can say names, but those eco-friendly that are actually greenwashing lines out there, and they suck. We can't, because we were so picky about our final product, and it, we had such a good reputation. I'm like, these cleaning products suck. So flash forward again a bit, we just started kind of experimenting and making our own. And this was kind of around COVID. So our business had temporarily shut down. So we were just kind of experimenting. We started our Instagram account at that time. So our new followers were watching us kind of make these products, clean with them. And then they're like, could I buy that? Could I buy that? And then
amazing.
And then, so we're like, okay. So we just started slapping Robyn printed from our printer some labels and mason jars, sending them off. And we just do locally most. I'd be like, we have 10 batches of jars done. Who wants them? It would be immediately sold out. And then the next time we're like, maybe more. And then I can kind of let you. I'm talking.
No, you're great.
So
you're doing great.
But then next thing you know, we're kind of at this point where then we started using my garage and Robyn's playroom, and this product started growing and growing. We started having some more products, and then we're like, maybe we should get actual labels and actual bottles and do this right. And then all of a sudden some stores wanted to start buying it. And so now we're at, say, like 2021, and we have this crazy busy cleaning business. We have this product line that's starting to boom. We both have multiple children, we're like, it's got to give. We're just like,
this is too much.
And at this point we were renting an actual warehouse space too, to make the products and bottle and ship and everything. And so then we just decided to go for it. In July 2021, we handed down our cleaning business to our manager, and we just went full throttle with the cleaning products. And we were scared because the cleaning business made us money. It was secure. This product, we had nothing. We didn't know what we were doing. And then from there, it just kind of like skyrocketed. So
you did great. That was perfect. That was a
there was lots of little things mixed in there, but I think that's
that's incredible. I love that story. And so how do you guys if you're making them in small batches, how are you guys actually making them? Like, you literally have people in your warehouse?
We started using cell suds, so Dr. Bronner's cell suds. We were mixing that with like our own essential oils and other ingredients like vinegar and alcohol and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, well, we can't keep buying cell suds. We have to figure out how to make cell suds. So I just I'm such like a researcher. I just like broke down every ingredient that was in it. I researched every eco brand and what ingredients they were using. And I was like, okay, well, we can buy these. And then we started just experimenting with that. So I figured out how to make the cell suds. And then
cell suds are these like the little powders like in here? Would that be the
cell suds is it's almost like a dish soap. It's like an eco-friendly concentrated cleaner that's Dr. Bronner. So it's all like eco-friendly. So I was just, it's like using plant-based surfactants and other ingredients. So then I was able to buy those. And then I just researched so much. Like I just got into like hyper-focus mode and just got into it. And then we ended up creating a all-purpose cleaner that worked, and that was amazing. And then so then we got like consulting from a chemist. So we had our recipes, and then we had a chemist, and then I was like, is this safe? Is this okay? Are these ingredients okay? Because we're not chemists.
Especially the cleaning scrub. There's some so
and they were like, you're good to go. And I was like, okay, game on. And then we just started making it, and we started like
little tweaks here and there, like once, and then we're like, actually, let's try this other surfactant with this, and and so it all was like quite a process of tweaking. And add to that, when we had our cleaning business going on with all this making, we also had these 12 staff members that could be we're like, you try this, you try this, and getting all this feedback. Okay, we need a bit more of this in there, and this is too sudsy, so we need this. And so it was like, it just was so great. It just authentically was so like this perfect storm, like.
Well, having the people who actually are in like kind of similar to myself, because I go in stores all the time, so I see my retailers on a regular basis, and asking them, or showing them when I'm designing a new product. We have a new one coming out in March. I've taken them all the label. I'm like, what do you think? Before we put the NPNs, I'm like, is there anything in here you think that could be added, that we need to add, or we're missing? And then you have all these retailers, kind of same idea as your team, giving you feedback. So then when you kind of come up with a final product, it's not just from you, but everybody collaboratively has had a part in it. So they're all able to, and it makes just, I think, a big difference than just yourself, right? Because you kind of have a little bit of that trial and error. So now when I pass it on, like it's out, they're like, oh my God, you did do all this stuff we said. So they've kind of feel part of it too, which is really cool. Take some ownership on it. And you guys also opened a retail store. I love this. I absolutely love this. And that was last year?
Yeah. And again, that happened by accident. Just like fell into our lap kind of thing. So we were in like almost like a little warehouse space in like a garage. It was as big as a garage. And we were quickly growing out of that space. And we're like, we needed a bigger space. And we knew there was one in town, but you had to do retail out of it. And we're like, it was like a pushback. We don't know if we want to deal with that. We don't know if we want to do customer service and blah, blah, blah. But it was a huge space. And also the rent was pretty high. And so then it was just getting to that breaking point, and we're in a small town and there's not many options. So it's like, okay, let's revisit this. And then we visited the space and we're like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just open a retail store. And at that time, we're like, we'll just do like one shelf, and we can just have some people come in and out and buy their products. And then we were like, okay, well, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. And so then
exactly.
And it just grew into this. Again, it was
a beautiful little store. Well, from what I can
it's
see.
awesome. Like, and I was like, why didn't we do this sooner? It's so nice to have the community stop by.
And it makes so much sense too. Like if you really think about it, then you're able to pull product from there. You pull product from there, but you have stuff in the back, right? And that's such a great idea. Now, would you guys, I mean, I think all of us as female entrepreneurs, or even any entrepreneur, female or not, or those who don't identify as females, really look at Joanna Nix as kind of somebody who has, or Nix Ware, Joanna Wick Griffith, as somebody who has kind of led the way as to how we'd want to kind of grow a brand and then stay involved and then not have to and be out of it to a certain degree. So when you guys look at that, would you guys roll stores out, kind of mint stores across Canada? Is that part of your like big, hairy, audacious goal?
Yeah. It kind of is, like I know we're kind of in like 170 plus retail stores selling mint, and the feedback from the retail is the same as you were saying. It's just like mint sells like crazy, and it's like we're like, okay, it's a thing, like it's selling,
100%.
And so it's been on our vision board, and I think for that we kind of want to add almost like have that full like a shampoo, conditioner, body wash, almost like a full deal, you know, so you walk in, it's like a one-stop shop. So it's definitely on our thing as like a little franchise, a mint store everywhere, because it's so cute. Like my husband's a carpenter, so he was able to do the renovations in the front end for us. So it's just it's like all
I can see places like, you know, Victoria, Kitsilano would be a great place. These kind of, you know, the places I think where you have people who are really receptive to that. Definitely kids would be a perfect like
or like we think Lush or Sage, you know, those places, that vibe you go in, and we also love that. We want to kind of like just replicate what we have here somewhere else. So we still want to make it. So I think it's really cool that a customer can come in, buy something, and see it kind of made in the back, kind of like a chocolate factory or a brewery. So I feel like that business model has not really been done for cleaning products.
100%.
And so, I just think that it could work. It's just a matter of like, you know, the logistics and wrapping around that and all that.
People love the lucky part. Like people they're like, whoa, cool. And all the bees in town use mint, so we get all these people coming in, and then they're like, we're staying at this place, and this is it's been awesome having
it. Incredible. Well, and even when you think about when you walk into Lush, I mean, I can't walk in that store just because of the smell. So at least walking in your store, it'd be like a nice minty smell, and you know you're not, you know, toxic chemicals. I'm always when I walk by it at the mall, I'm like, oh my God.
I know,
all day. Like you would have a migraine at the end of the day.
I can't even walk past the laundry aisle anymore with like that synthetic fragrance, just like instant headache. And I'm like,
well, it all works. I mean, for one, I was looking for new cleaning products because I was kind of the same thing, right? Using the Lysol, using all those different ones because I didn't find anything that really worked. And my daughter calls me OCD, but I do clean the whole house. My dad even said to me that he's like, you really clean your house a lot. And I'm like hands and knees. Like my mom was just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm scrubbing the floors. And she's like, oh my God. Like, I was so proud of myself. I took the all purpose cleaner, and the edges of my baseboard, I noticed dirt. I had Q-tips, and I'm like, there, it's like, you have a problem. I'm like, look at how clean this is.
That's no problem for us.
I just love, so your products work really, really well. I think that's the big thing. And I've been using them now for a couple months. But and it's also down, like I'm not spending as much. I'm not buying, because I would go through a lot of Lysol, right? When you think about it, like doing the floors and and the cleaning scrub is definitely, and I know it's one of your probably all-time bestsellers, I would imagine. But I mean, I'm maybe halfway full, and I do clean every single Sunday, like top to bottom, the whole house. And I've been using this since I bought it at the West Coast Women's Show in October. Lasts a really long time, right? It's been really, really great. So it's not something, which is a nice thing. So then you can really utilize it, right? And use it everywhere. That's the bonus size too. So love the products. So I want to touch on your social media, because I remember when I first saw you guys' social media Uplift, I'm like, these girls, this is the best ever. And it's provided me for inspiration as well to get uncomfortable and to just have fun with it too. I think a lot of the time we want to portray our brand in a certain way, and you get kind of caught up in, I don't want to have people not think I'm serious, but I think you guys have really, for me at least, inspired me to be okay to kind of be silly and do whatever you want. I'm doing one today in an aerobics outfit, so we'll see how that turns out.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
I've been holding back. I'm like, oh God.
But you got this.
but your creativeness and your humor, plus you do education and training. I mean, how do you come up for the ideas, for one? I mean, as somebody who's an entrepreneur, and luckily, I mean, you guys are blessed. You have two of you too, which is another real asset because you can really throw ideas back and forth. But do you do a special day in content? Do you have a team that videos with you, or is it just the two of you and like, here's our day and this is content day and let's go for it? How do you guys schedule that in?
Well, sort of all of it. We don't have a team. It's just Robyn and I. If we have a thing where we need, like for the Jilly Box ones, or where we need both of us in it, sometimes we'll ask our manager to come film for us. But it's kind of all it's really a lot of it is just, we have like this conversation called Instagram Inspo. So, cause you know, like anything creatively hits you whenever, you can't really plan a day to be creative. So we kind of have that ongoing. And then I try to just write out a bit of a plan. And we're so busy. Depends on the time of year, what's going on, but we try to dedicate a day a week to just filming at my house and getting at least some of them done. Sometimes we just kind of end up filming some things on our own or whatever, but that's kind of like it. And what really like we learned that, like where I've kind of learned along the way, is be really prepared. So I actually like write out scripts and everything, and the more detail, the better actually, because sometimes, especially how busy we are, we can't focus, or we're like, so it just trying to be really organized has actually helped. And just like sometimes we just scroll together and we're laughing and we're just getting inspired, and our little conversation's great. We just kind of both pop in there, oh my god, like this would be funny, or we'll see something funny, and how would this work for Mint is like a really good way to do it. Is if you're seeing something trending, just be like, how does this work for my business? And and we're lucky because we do have the product, so we try to do like a product one, a DIY one. We try to keep a bit of a theme, a funny one, like try to do it all in like within the week or whatever. Like I think we post like 5 or 6 days a week. So
and I think to piggyback on that is like our Instagram is what started Mint. So we had Instagram before we had our product. So most of our followers came, like, so 99% of our sales come from Instagram. So it is very much a part of our job. Like if we don't have Instagram, you know, we're kind of screwed. So we do look at it as like, this is our job. Like we have to do this in order to, you know, to kind of keep the sales flowing in and stuff like that, keep people inspired and keep that community growing. So it's huge for us.
But I just tell people, write it down when you have an idea, have a place that just, because we used to not, I'd be like, I'll remember that. And then you don't, you know, so just have a place, have these funny thoughts, just write it right away, or like send a screenshot, something just to remember. Because I find that used to happen. I'm like, I had this really good idea. What was it? Shit. And so just trying to have a place that you're, you know, because it'll hit you in the night. I find nights when I'm funniest is like when you're tired or loopy, I feel like when people are the funniest. So it's like, just write it down.
Well, and speaking, you kind of mentioned Jilly Box. So how did you start? First off, congratulations on 2023 small business e-commerce.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's huge. And then you also collaborated with Jillian Harris on the Jilly Box. So that must have been, I know I've submitted to partake in the Jilly Box. I know that is quite a commitment on your end as the vendor. So I don't know. So did that collaboration happen because you guys applied, or did she use your products, love your products, and she's like, hey, I want to feature you? How did it all kind of come to be?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. So we just got our labels in, and we were starting to sell the product. So we were very still grassroots at the time, and very green. And so then my sister-in-law is in PR, and she follows Jillian Harris on Instagram. She was like, she called me and I was doing a clean, and she was like, hey, Jillian Harris is staying at Pacific Sands, which is a resort in our area in Tofino. And she was like, you should drop off products to her. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And I go and I gather up our products, and like, we just launched at this point. And I drove to Pacific Sands, and I have like my little basket of products to drop off to her. And I actually see her brother-in-law, who I recognize from Instagram, like kind of just right there in the lobby, literally. And I go up and I just said, hey, we're a small business. Really hoping you could drop this off to Jillian. He was so nice. He was like, of course, I would love to do that. And then I was just like, kind of shitting myself. And I was like, what did I just do? And then anyway, she posted, we had 700 followers, I think, that night. She posted on her stories that I dropped it off. And we ended up getting like 1,500 followers overnight, or maybe even 2,000. And I was like, holy, she's powerful. And then
orders on our Shopify.
Yeah. And she just ended up loving our products. And then we posted a reel manifesting us in the Jilly Box. We did a fake Jilly Box and like something really funny. And I was like, manifested, like dreams come true, right? And then it was like maybe a couple months after that even, and then her team reached out.
That's amazing.
We were like, it was like, one of those moments, like it was such a rush to get that email.
Oh, yeah, no
Monika
kidding.
was out and she came back and I was like, Julie Box emailed, and she was like, shut up, you're joking. She didn't believe me. Anyway, it was very much real. Yeah. And then
I thought she even wrote out the email.
Yeah,
we obviously fuck with each other. So I was just like, shut up. Like, there's no way. And it was our big dream. That was like literally our vision board was like, so I was like, I hate you. And you're like, I'm serious.
Yeah.
That is great. So cool.
So we had to make, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I said, and we had to make 15,000. They're like, can you make 15,000, jars of scrub? We're like, yes. And we're still hand making, hand sifting. We're like, we got this. Yeah, don't worry. We can do this. And then it was a whole year in the making. So they reached out and you have a whole year to kind of get your, packaging and start making. And so we did have lots of time to prepare, but we got like all the neighbors and the friends help. And
my goodness.
It was amazing.
And did you do a full container? Or did you do like a sample size? Wow. Wow, that's incredible.
Really and that's like at the time we were in buckets making. We're like, hey, I think we need that's when we started introducing our cement mixer, which we still use to make the scrubs. We're like, we need to make this bigger. Like, how do we? So it's like the thing about Robyn and our advice always to small businesses is like, just say yes and figure it out later. Yeah. So we've done that so many times where we just fake it with like a straight face. Yep. And then we're like, after we're like, okay. So I think that's a great example of like, I think a lot of personalities would be like, we're not prepared. We're too small. We can't do this. Where we were just like, screw it. We'll do it.
Yeah. Find a way. 100%. So obviously that translated to incredible growth and incredible sales for being in the Jilly Box as well. That's for anybody who gets an opportunity to be in the Jilly Box, definitely go for it.
Totally. It was huge. Huge for our business.
It was huge. And just to have Jillian as a fan, it's like, it's such a high, so it was
of course. 100%. That's very cool. So what is one of your favorite cleaning tips? Like, is there something that you guys have that's a favorite cleaning tip you can give?
Totally. Mon?
I think one of my favorites that people don't know is pre-vacuum. So like before you start cleaning your bathroom, give it a pre-vacuum, pre-test all that loose hair and dust. You don't want to mix like cleaning product, like just swishing hair and dust around. You want to vacuum first. Start with the clean and then spray. Let it sit is huge. Let your product sit and do a bit of the work before you start scrubbing. So that's always my favorite one. I'm like, get rid of this dust and hair first. Don't clean on top of
that. Yeah. Mine is I love like putting essential oils on my vacuum filter. And then it just, as you vacuum, it creates this, like, we call it use and diffuse. And
I like that.
It's like a couple, and then it just will, like, while you're vacuuming, you're like, this is so good. So that's
I like that. Okay. All right. And so, and speaking of clean, so according to Better Homes and Garden, the coffee maker, they said the coffee maker is the dirtiest spot in the house, along with the workstation. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know, that's what I thought too. I don't have a coffee maker. So, but along with the workstation and above your kitchen cabinets when I Googled. What do you guys think is the dirtiest spot in the house?
I would say I agree. I'm thinking of back in our cleaning days, doing move out cleans was a good way to tell where people don't clean. And definitely like when you're on your kitchen counters, when you look up above the bottom of the counters above.
Yes, where all the condensation is.
Yeah. And then the filter above the stove.
I was going to say the stove filters.
So people don't know they can take it out and clean it, throw it in the dishwasher, clean, boom. And it's like, go take a little look-see. Definitely. Those are some.
I always read the kitchen sink is the dirtiest place in your house. Right. So giving that a good scrub every night, that was like harbors the most bacteria, more than a toilet seat I read. But anyway.
Oh, I got one more too that people never clean. You know, your shower sweep, if you have a glass shower, the little like rubber seal at the bottom of the glass shower.
Oh, yes.
You can slide those off. And you should see. That used to be a really good content for us back in the day. It was cleaning.
Just the corner. It's and even like dust underneath the couch or when you really start going, you can kind of go a little bit, as my daughter would call me, OCD with cleaning. But you get a little, because you start going, you're like, oh my god, you clean one wall, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take all day. I've got to do the whole entire thing.
I always notice that like restaurants and stuff, like the sides, the bottom sides of toilets, that area too. People they clean the top toilet, but never like some like restaurants just looking. I don't know. It's just my also OCD thing. Share and love.
And if you have anybody like you guys over to the house, you just be like, you want to make sure your house is spotless before.
No, and people say that, I'm like, dude, we're train wrecks in our house. Like, it's like, we give all this advice. And
I know. Come to my house. Oh God.
Well, so for somebody who's like an overwhelmed mom or dad, working full time, how if they struggle to clean their house every week, do you have different tips maybe they could do? Like, is there one place they could kind of start in, or what do you guys think for somebody who's just feeling like, I've got too much on my plate, I cannot do this?
We have a checklist, which I just think is the best thing ever. Just print it off. And we always say with our checklist, there's no pressure. Don't check everything off, but it gives you a bit of a guide. So like Monday is bathrooms, Tuesday is living rooms. And so you can kind of follow that. And if you're feeling really overwhelmed and you're like, today's Monday, I'm just going to clean a bit of this bathroom. And then it just kind of gets you in that mode of just like tackling something a day.
And prioritizing, you know, just figure out like, I only have this much time, set a timer. We always say like, it's amazing what you can get done in 10 minutes. Like, you know, you can figure out 10 minutes at the end of the day. I can probably clean my whole bathroom in 10 minutes, or at least get it to a level that's like, will last me the week. So we always say like, just, set a timer, or just, you know, figure it out, prioritize what's most needed. And then I also have my rules. So I don't love cleaning, surprise. But that's one of the reasons why we created this product brand is like, okay, I want to be able to enjoy cleaning more and just have that rules. Like I can't go to bed unless if there's dishes in the sink, you know what I mean? I have to clean and that's just one of my rules. Like it's just something that I have a routine. I'm very disciplined at. So kind of just get that mindset going. But
totally. And I'll say one more thing I've been doing with, because you're saying like a single parent or whatever, kids, is like sometimes I find, you know, after dinner, there's so much mess from the day, the school lunch bag, everything. And then the kids have been playing after. So I just say I set the stove timer for 30 minutes. And that means we're all helping everybody, even the 4-year-old, everybody's helping, cleaning up something. And then we all, then the rule on my end is like, once that timer goes, I have to stop too. And then we play a game or we're together doing something. So it's a good rule for me. Cause I'm like you, I could just keep going once I start. So it's like, they get excited too. They're like, you have to stop too. Like, okay. And then we like,
great idea.
But it's so great. And they're actually so good. They can just roll in the living room, putting their toys away about, you know, and then
makes it fun for them
30
too.
minutes is enough. Like with all of us doing stuff. And then even my husband will help clean, like, you know, like it's just kind of like, we're all doing this.
Well, and it doesn't get that bad if you're doing it once a week. That's one of the things I find too. But my bathrooms don't get out of control if I'm not, once a week by doing it. Even my bedding, I'm very anal about the bedding. Like I wash the bedding once a week. And then when I began to look at some of the stats of people who like, don't wash their bedding like at all type of thing. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Read about what's
like
on
once a month. And I'm like, once a week. I'm very big on cleaning especially bedding.
Yeah. Oh, and how good does it feel to get into clean sheets? There's nothing better.
Nothing better.
Nothing better.
It's
the best feeling.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor.
I'm in this clean sheets.
Yeah. You know?
Oh, yeah. A good tip too is like our deodorizer. If you're changing your bedding, sprinkle some deodorizer on your mattress, let it sit and vacuum it. And then when you make it the smell like that night, the deodorizer, like, it's just to level up one more on the clean sheets.
It's like taking care of your future self, you know?
Exactly. That's a thing of self-care, right? So self-care doesn't necessarily mean a spa day. It can really reflect on taking care of the environment around you. And I always really loved, Oprah had this quote, your home should rise to meet you. And I've always really loved that, right? And so whenever I've thought about that in my house, and whether that be aesthetics or cleanliness or whatever it is, but when you come home, this is your safe home. This is your place where you can be your most self. And in that your most self, you want it to be organized and clean, and you know what I mean? And I've always thought having anybody over at any time, I could always have somebody over at any time. It might be a little disorganized, but it's not like, it's like, you know? So,
and don't you find your space reflects your brain? Like I find if my house is a mess, I'm like, scattery. And once I just do a bit of a clean, I can like breathe and I can focus.
Exactly.
And
being organized. So with your big, hairy, audacious goal, I know you kind of talked about the stores, but what's your big, hairy, audacious goal? Is the store that, or what's your big dream for Mint? International cleaning company.
Worldwide domination.
I like that. I'm all there for that.
Oprah's favorite things is I have.
Yes, I hear you on that one.
You just talked about Oprah. So I was just like, Oprah's been on my vision board since The Secret came out. Remember The Secret and that your vision board? I always put Oprah's huge on there. Like, how am I going to get this? It's huge. She's and I actually saw her speak in Seattle with my mom, and it was amazing. Anyway,
I did too.
So did you? You were there?
Yeah, I would. Elizabeth here. I went to New York. Yeah, and I went to that. And I also went to New York and saw her too.
Oh wow! Oh man, we were there. Wait, so I know
that's so funny. There you go.
But anyway, Oprah's favorite thing. So Oprah, if you're listening, that's I actually sent to her editor. I sent her products just to her like Oprah Daily headquarters in New York City. Again, the sending products like, here, open on prayer.
Yeah, we've sent a few wingy products to like
random people. We're like,
that's what you got to do. I think that's what you got to do. It's the same as stores. I'll like mail listing packages all the time, different stores, just hoping that, you know, some of the stores that I want to get in.
Yeah. Besides that, a big hairy goal, I think it's just we would love to get like some sort of fulfillment center, like upper manufacturing somehow. Like it's just hard as small businesses, right, to get that level of scaling. But yeah, like franchising would be an option too. But we're just kind of going with the flow and just, you know, riding the wave of growth and just making it work as we go.
Yeah, totally.
I love that, hey guys. I love that. Well, okay, now I've got some personal questions. So each of you can answer this. What would you tell your 20-year-old self?
It's funny, we both had the same answer because we read that question before.
Read that randomly.
We were like, you're not fat.
Oh, I love that. I feel that way too.
Yeah. I'm so mad at my 20-year-old self. Like,
right?
Yeah, you're beautiful.
Yeah, you're looking good, girl.
You're
like
beautiful.
You're fine. Yeah,
that's all I would say. Yeah.
Like how much time was wasted obsessing about that. And even with my daughter, Michaela, we don't have a scale in our house. I don't talk about weight. I talk about how I feel. I can tell if I'm eating crappy foods and I don't feel good. Right. So we have conversations regarding that. But, you know, I'm always like, I'm in awe of how gorgeous her body is and how, and I just comment on that, but I'm like, you just are stunning. Like you are a stunning girl. And that's not your only quality, but you know, kindness first and all these other things, but enjoy love the fact that you are a beautiful, strong, healthy girl, right?
You know, the body image thing was just so hard. I know so many women that have that. And I really hope our society is changing. You know, I think we kind of got it. Like, let's not talk about bodies anymore.
Yeah,
you know, everyone's beautiful in their own way. And same with our, we both have daughters too. And so I think, very conscious of that, like not talking about her looks, her like, you know, and just talking about being healthy and being happy in your own body and that kind of thing and being grateful for your body. So I think, we really got kind of like the shit end of the stick, I think, in the media.
Growing up in the
it was really hard.
So awful.
Yeah,
it's like that heroin chic and low-rise jeans.
I totally agree with you.
Tramp stamps.
It didn't help.
I got my tramp stamp covered like a big back tattoo. So I did have like the signature right on the tailbone. I'm like, we need to cover all of this. So now it goes kind of all around the back too. So now it's just a huge collage. So what makes you inspired? What inspires you guys?
I'm inspired by Monika.
I was going to say you.
Love that.
Just like
why you're business partners.
I know. I think we are a really good team. Like what she thinks of, what I think of is different. We have very different brains, but I'm just so inspired by the way she's a friend, the way she's a mother. I'm gonna cry. Just like I really am. I think you're doing great.
Well, and I always say about Robyn, if I didn't have her, I'd be in a market, still selling in markets, because the way her brain just took what we had, little simple DIY, and just like, how do we do this? She's been able to reach the top people of everything. Like how she can just hunt and figure things out. Like I always know everything will be okay, because it's like Robyn's like, I'm on it. I'm gonna message this person. This person will know this to them. So I'm just like, I'll make a reel about. So it's just like we're just so lucky, because I'd be selling at a market if I'd never Robyn. So
we're getting cheesy.
That's okay. You can be cheesy.
So in love.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I love that. And what's your favorite swear word? You can say what you want.
Yeah, I was just like, does anything hit harder than motherfucker?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I love that one.
Or we say, for fuck's sakes.
Yes, I say for fuck's sakes a lot.
Yeah, totally.
God damn it.
Fuck's sakes.
Right?
Yeah. If there's like anything else.
Yeah.
I like fuck twad. I call a lot of people fuck twad. I'm like, you're twad when I'm driving. I'm like, oh God.
I throw a lot of balls around too. Balls. I think that's pretty
random
PG,
balls.
But
that's
this is balls. I don't know. I think, but that's
especially if you have little ones around. You have to be a little bit. Like frig.
But I say the fuck sakes, and now my kids sometimes I'm like, okay, and it's so hard not to laugh when kids swear, but like fuck sakes. Like,
it's funny. We have a thing. We let our kids swear at Christmas.
Oh, so that's hilarious.
One day they're allowed to swear whenever they want in the house. It's just so funny. And then so funny. And they're like, Merry fucking Christmas. And they're just like laughing so hard. So anyway, it's good for the kids, you know.
I love that.
Christmas.
There you go.
Another reason to look forward to Christmas. There you go.
Yeah,
totally. Get to swear. That's so cute. That's so cute. All right. So where can people buy Mint? How do people find you? Plug away. Tell us.
Well, our website, so mintcleaningproducts.com. We also have a store locator there. So we're in almost 200 stores across Canada. So you can check out a store near you. And just going to do a shameless plug. We do have a 125-page book cleaning guide coming out in February.
Yay!
So you hear all these tips and you're going to get that all in one book. You're going to get the
people kept telling us how you said you listening to your people, our customers are always like, you guys need a book of all this, because we have it scattered everywhere. There's story highlights. There's so it's just a one-stop shop.
That's super smart.
Everything you can think of that we've ever been asked or thought of or put out there, it's in there. So
every stain,
DIY recipe, everything you can.
That's fantastic. And you guys, I can almost see like a Jillian Harris type cover with the two of you, and then like you can flip through and
totally
idea. That's something that should be in a lot of stores. I definitely think that should be thrown on the list there of manifestation and creating.
Be Oprah's favorite thing.
There you go. Cleaning handbook. We got you covered. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for taking time.
Thank you, Erin. That was so fun.
Very busy. So fun. So everybody else, thank you so much for joining us. And then next month, stay tuned. We're going to have another exciting guest who's really pushing themselves to be their best possible self. So thank you so much and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.